Hello, everybody. It's raining here in Southern California. It's a real miracle. And I'm very excited to share with you the one eating hack. It's actually 3 steps that could change everything. So, one thing that really breaks my heart is when my clients fail to plan. It's like many of them pretend that meals, feeding, eating, and food is optional. Ha ha ha. Um, that's kind of like planning a road trip without planning to make any pit stops to go to the bathroom. And I know it could be inconvenient to stop in the middle of the road trip to relieve your bladder or go pee. It could even be downright annoying, but you don't negotiate with Mother Nature on this one, right? Because you know that there will be consequences. Hi. My name is Eve Lahijani, and it's my passion to help women who struggle with compulsive and emotional eating issues make peace with food in any situation, no matter what is going on in their lives. So the part that just kills me the most when my clients fail to plan is, it makes the struggling that they're doing and these issues, I could watch them, I could see how it could exacerbate their issues even more. After all, when you don't plan your next meal, you are at the mercy of your food environment, and you're more likely to eat whatever may be available. So I remember one time many years ago, I was at a party and I didn't plan my meal. And so when I got there, I was hungry and there was no food available. And so what I ended up doing is making mini Dorito and beef jerky sandwiches. And although they were delicious, it's not what I wanted to be eating. Also, when you don't plan to eat or you don't plan your next meal, you're more likely to have piecemeal mini meals and end up feeling unsatisfied until you finally have an actual meal. Also, when you don't plan to have meals, you're more likely to feel overwhelmed about the food choices that are available, and more likely to be the victim of food pressure or food bullying from other people. And I'll talk more about that in my next video. And finally, when you don't plan to have your next meal, your body will have a hard time trusting you with food. So it's more likely to overeat or hoard next time you eat. So dealing with all of this ends up making food a stressful part of life. It makes us more obsessive with food, and it perpetuates the food struggle that so many of us are trying to get out of. So what you want to do is to have a plan. It doesn't have to be anything rigid or precise. I'm not about rigid or preciseness at all. Instead, you want to have a plan with something that's nurturing and that aligns with your body's natural rhythms. So having a plan is helpful because when you know what you're going to eat next, it makes those tempting, snacks at the office a lot less tempting. You could have more control over the food choices that you're making. Your brain and body could relax it a bit more knowing that you're going to take care of its needs. Also, when you plan to have meals, you'll be less likely to overeat because you're going to be less likely to let yourself get too hungry. And finally, it's important to plan your meals because this is a basic part of self-care. That's right, it's an important adult task that nobody talks about and that so many people overlook. So, for those of you who have busy lives and tell yourself that, I don't have time to do this, I don't have time to plan out my meals, well, the truth is you don't have time not to do this. Because when you don't plan to have your meals, you're more likely to be drained, in a bad mood, less able to focus. And for those of you who don't have, very busy lives, it's also very important for you to have a plan around food because it gives you structure during your day. So, I'm making it sound way more complicated than it is. It's not complicated at all. And you might want to get a pen to write some of this down because these are really easy tips and I just want you to know it. So these 3 easy steps. Step number 1 is take a look at your day and what you plan to do. Step number 2 is predict when you're probably going to need food. And step number 3 is determine where that food is coming from. That's it. Done. It does not have to be perfect. It just has to be done. The best time to do this is, the morning of, or maybe even the night before the day that you're planning for. So I'll repeat the steps here, and I'll add a little bit of flair. Okay, so step number 1 is you want to look at your day and what you plan to do. So I like to use my planner. Yes, my friends make fun of me for using a paper planner. If you like to use your phone, that's okay too. It doesn't matter. Just look at your day and what you plan to do. Step number 2, predict when you're probably going to need food, when you're going to get hungry. So, my recommendation is to try to have something within the first hour of waking, and then you're probably going to have to eat about every 3 to 4 hours thereafter. Anticipate it, expect it. This will put you ahead in the long term. And step number 3 is determine where that food is coming from. Are you going to make a meal from scratch, or are you going to just pop something in the microwave? Are you going to, be running errands? So are you going to stop at the mall, at the food court at the mall? Or are you going to, stop by and eat something when you're visiting grandma at her house? Are you going to have snacks in your glove compartment, or are you going to get a bite from the, the nearby taco stand? So it doesn't have to be hard. It actually could be very simple. So this reminds me of that annoying but true quote by Benjamin Franklin. And he says, failing to plan is like planning to fail. And when it comes to food, failing to plan your next meal is like planning to overeat, feel bloated, and be in a bad mood. So why don't you try this for a week and let me know how it goes. Try it for the rest of the day. Also, if you found this message valuable, please share this message with a friend. Share this on your page. If you like these messages, subscribe. You could subscribe to my newsletter at vitamineve.com, or to my YouTube channel if you're watching this on YouTube. So before I sign off, I just want to say I'm Eve Lahijani, and it's my passion to help women who struggle with emotional and compulsive and binge eating issues, helping them make peace with food once and for all so they can handle any food situation with ease and grace no matter what is happening in their lives. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope I hear from you. Thanks for watching, and happy eating as I awkwardly end this video. Thanks for watching.